I would say hands up or have an orgasm. They'd be confused and I'd repeat the line again, and if they didn't put their hands up I'd give them an orgasm. If you had the ability to instantly give any person an orgasm, simply by pointing your hand at them like a finger gun and saying pew, how would you wield this power? What's up my man, thanks for coming to another storytime with you boy Andrew. I'm so happy you could make it again. Since you keep coming for more stories, why not subscribe? This way you always get the newest storytimes right to your feed. Also if you do, I'll buy you a free ice cream sundae. Hope you did that, cause I already bought the sundae. Anyways, let's get into the stories. My new greeting is the double finger gun and a pew pew pew. I would dress as my favorite hero, Orgasmo, and make a makeshift arm cannon similar to Mega Man and call it the Orgasmo Ray. I'll just point to myself. Ugh. I would yield it with total irresponsibility. The military would be after within 24 hours. I'd pull a Tobey Maguire on a crowded street. Edit. This is the comment? This is the duckin' comment? Oh lord. How hard do you reckon it is to become the Pope? No matter what, it would be worth it to walk out onto that balcony and address the masses with a single pew. I'm gonna make it fun to go to the opera again. Go to one of those Broadway productions where they're all naked. Can't pretend you didn't just bust a nut when the whole audience just watched it happen and there's a small puddle on the floor. I would keep the power a secret until I saw my wife have an exceptionally hard day. I'd make her dinner, something new, and on her first bite pew pew. Then, after dinner I'd run her a bath and use those relaxing eye cover things that girls like, play some soft music, pew pew. Then I'd give her a massage. Feet first, pew pew. Then her shoulders, pew pew. Then after that offer her a glass of wine, and after we've inevitably drank half a bottle each, we'd move to the bedroom, and once she lays down I'd give her a double pew pew. At that point she'd be relaxed, exhausted, and pass out. Then I could finally make some progress in BioShock on the Switch. Clarification. Do I need to be physically near the person or are we working with Death Note rules and I can do so just by seeing someone on TV? Because if it's the latter, the next Olympics is gonna be hilariously entertaining. Any sporting event really. Here's the wind-up and the pitch. Okay, the pitcher seems to have launched it into the visiting dugout, but I think the batter may have swung anyway. We'll wait until the ump gets off the ground for a ruling. Assuming all the orgasm haver needs to do is see and hear the finger guns, I'm getting on TV. Oh hey, local TV station, your viewers are about to have an awesome day. It starts small, but quickly spreads to regional and then national affiliates, as the footage is linked to a spike in visits from elderly citizens with heart conditions. By the end of the week, my first finger bang is the highest viewed video on Pornhub. CNN runs a story warning of the danger of such power and questions whether I am a friend or foe. I spend some time on the run from the same scientists that sought Eastern time for a time back in the 80s. I'm careful with my power now, but now and again I have to fingerbang someone into submission just to escape. My exile from the real world is made worse when trolls across the internet use my first newscast as a new kind of rickroll. Ublock Origin creates a specialized widget that censors my finger blasting so that offices and schools can return to some kind of normalcy. A public health crisis is declared. Desperate for peace, I fingerblast myself. The euphoria lasts for 30 minutes. 69 years have passed since the cooming. You lie in your deathbed, frail and weak. You've resisted the temptation for decades, knowing the world could not handle it again. Few alive remember it happening. The cooming has fallen to nothing more than a crappy, recurring joke on the newest online inter-cyber-galactic Univernet forum. You decide it's time. Whether the world had become ready in the last 7 decades or not, it was something you've always wanted, needed to do. With your last dying breath, you ask NurseBot to record a video of you and put it online. Pew pew. Rob a bank and immediately neutralize the guards and tellers. Pew pew pew. Or be a vigilante and stop bank robbers with orgasm overload. Munchkin the heck out of the power. Figure out if the finger guns and verbal spell casting are a necessary part of the power or just psychosomatic. See if it works long distance, aiming with binoculars, through windows or walls. Find out if it works with gloves, mittens on, or with glasses, sunglasses, goggles on. See if it works while watching someone on television, live and taped. If it works cross-time with people who were taped, see if it works in movies. See if it works over the radio. And since vigilantism doesn't pay well, get hired at a sex therapy clinic for people who can't get off. Or join the SWAT team and reduce the use of force incidents. Also, find out if it works on still pictures, get a few images of the world, perhaps the late 90s, and try it on a planetary scale. If it works, you probably just started quite a few multi-billion-dollar studies, as almost every nation tries to figure out how an event like that could have happened to every single adult in an instant, with no apparent trigger. The first theories would likely be that of some sort of timed bioweapon test, released into the atmosphere, albeit a strange one. Then the religions would start trying to explain things, and more would start popping up. Depending on the severity of the global reaction, it may start wars. More repressed countries, especially the Middle East, might very well start a few versus whoever they blame. Perhaps some small-scale testing first though, yeah. Also, discover if it has to be you that triggers the effect, live, or if it can be a recording. If it can be, does it have to include video, or just audio? If it's video, can you set an image in front of the screen and trigger it that way? If so, you could potentially lock down the world, or a few individuals, with orgasms, just by playing it on repeat. If that video were to get released online, well, that's a recipe for global chaos. Additional thoughts? Does the effect have travel time, or is it instant? How large is the area of effect, or the range? Could you, perhaps, accidentally trigger it on an alien world without knowing it? Can you control duration? If you could, and all of the above are possible, you could set up an automated instant interplanetary communication system, though it would require a biological component, a person. By triggering short bursts of climax, you could set up an interplanetary orgasm telegraph, short and long bursts, using Morse code, versus an operator that receives messages transmitted via automated systems through the use of recording of the finger gun Pew, aimed at specific predetermined points in space. It would be slow, but FTL communication would be worth it. I also imagine you would have any number of people volunteering for the position. Also, yes, I am this bored that I put that much thought into it. I'd probably make a YouTube video that's just a quick 15 seconds of me pointing right at the camera and letting out a rapid fire pew 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 pew. And then post the video Rick Roll style so that anyone thinking they're going to open up a relevant link is treated to an wholly unexpected and more than likely inconvenient orgasm. Once that catches on, my work is done, although I'll still use my powers for good, and I'm going to enjoy seeing people on trains, in meetings, at events, and wherever on their phones, and then suddenly sloshing their shorts because of my jizz roll video. As the years go by, the jizz roll will become more and more ubiquitous in society, and I'm sure many of folk will take the necessary precautions to splat-proof their nether garments with rubber undies or quick-release valves. I mean, surely it won't just be the boys constantly creaming their cargoes. Surely the ladies will be super soaking their sliz snugglers and need to wear some manner of sex-grade diaper, or possibly just go full skirt and let the drips drops where they may. Yes, the world at large will be hot and humid with the musk of human sexual excretion. Unlike the Rick roll, the jizz roll will turn into something you want to sit though each and every time, and the negative stigma of openly slinging goo or gushing drool will be gone. Thanks to me, the world will be in a near constant state of blissful relief and post-nut clarity. I suspect the world will make huge strides in technological advancements, as well as find unity among races and religions. Civil strife will be a thing of the past when you watch a jizz roll and let your stuff blast. Oh sure, even in my old age, people will want my celebrity for personal hire. Some may call them masochists, but I see these elites rich enough to afford an in-person, pewing as just regular folk, trying to ascend to a sexual nirvana. I'd pin them against the wall, or they would do so themselves, as their legs won't be doing them much good for much long, as I relentlessly pew them into oblivion. I'd pew them stupid if that's what they want. I'd pew them until their genitals are tender and throbbing from overuse, bright red like a piece of steel hammered hot by a master blacksmith. As they sit there, blathering incoherently, giggling and lost on a different plane of conscious existence, I'll shoot 'em one more pew for the road. If they die, they die. That's what I was hired for, and that's the power I've been blessed with. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.